Hello guys, welcome to today's video. Today I kind of wanted to do more of a long form video, and just literally kind of do some dev work, make a video about literally just doing some dev work in a game. Just because, I mean, shorts are cool and all, but sometimes it's nice just to actually have a long form video and kind of show you what's going on behind the scenes. So, my last video was touching base on my other game. I still don't have a name for it. It's just kind of like that camping game with the weird looking deer monster. But this is another project that I had worked on like a while ago, and then I just kind of had to take a break from it. I have a demo of this up on my itch.io page if you guys want to check that out. Link should be in the description down below. And yeah, if you do know what I'm talking about, this should look completely different. The demo scene in the demo project that I put on my itch.io page, that was just containing of a demo scene, which was basically a scene trying to cram as many assets and different textures and everything as possible into one scene. So just kind of making sure things worked properly. This is kind of my first real go at developing a real, like, more serious level. My kind of goal and vision for the game is to have like different types of worlds, because basically what I'm thinking the storyline will be, you're some sort of like agent, maybe like an assassin, something, and you're trying to take out this person who is time traveling, essentially trying to mess with time. If you think about it, it's kind of makes me feel like it's kind of inspired almost by Time Splitters. I wasn't going off from that eventually when I was making the game, but then I actually came across the game Time Splitters, the original one, and I was like, oh, this is pretty much the same game, just a different art style. So yeah, but yeah, maybe we'll just hop right into it and kind of show you what's going on. So hopefully it won't be too loud or anything. Forgot you can't do that. There's gotta be a... Give me a second, guys. Alright, here we go. Sorry about that, I had a small issue, but this is what the game currently is looking like. Ooh, loud. So it's kind of loud. If you've played the original, the music's kind of changed to fit with the more Egyptian tomb style layout. I'm probably going to do something different with the sky. I just kind of wanted it to look kind of like a Quake theme almost. And you can see like the difference. There are no actual lighting in this game. It's a totally unlit game. It's just the color and the textures. So here you have a dark texture, and here you have a slightly brighter texture just to get the illusion of some light coming through. I should probably add a few more here then to make it fit properly, but anyway, still this, I am going to make it where it's like you can't just pick all of the guns up in the beginning. I just kind of did it to make sure everything's working properly. And there's some issues going on over here with layering. You'll see what that is in a second. This is a wall texture that I threw up to see if it looked okay. This is not at all for this level. Got the rocket launcher still. The electric gun. Another new texture for the Egyptian style assets. It's kind of like skulls maybe. Makes me think of Indiana Jones. Got the flamethrower. More skulls, and this is kind of a really cool looking room right here. So it's kind of like you got some lava. Cool. And that's what that layering issue is. That's actually a particle system just kind of falling down, and you can see it through the floor. So I think all it should really be is adjusting the layer of the floor. I thought these looked pretty decent, but I'm also kind of wondering if I should change it, because I don't know if it really fits the art style. If it was a different game, it'd probably look totally fine, but might have to make it like little squares almost, just different colored squares. And that yellow dot that keeps falling in front of the screen, that was me starting to work on a shell agenda system, which is not great looking. And it kind of applies to all weapons at the moment, which is not ideal. So try to ignore that for now. I'll have to fix that sometime. But yep, lava doesn't do anything at the moment. It's literally just another floor texture, which I'll have to add a special like damaging system to it. And yeah. It's always kind of fun to go out and kind of see it from the outside. But yeah, that's kind of this level so far. I haven't done too much just because I've been working on other stuff. But nobody's ever really seen inside this project yet before, so I'll try to kind of break it down. It's developed like all the old retro FPS games. It's like top down. If you've ever seen like the original Wolfenstein 3D editor, this is pretty much what it would look like. You're just painting the scene. So it looks 2D from here. As soon as you head off from 2D, you can really see that it's actually got some 3D dimension to it, which is pretty cool. And it's all done by using Unity's tile palette editor. And these are all assets that I made. I tried to kind of split it up. So up here is just flat paint on tile textures. I'll show you what I mean. So we'll kind of come over here or whatever. Yeah, we'll just do this. So let's select, there's a couple layers here. I'll try to explain that. Let's select tile map layer 1. And this is like our base. This is just the floor. This is what it is. And so let's go with, since you're technically outside, I'm going to go with the slightly lighter colored one. Same exact texture, except this one's lighter than that one to give the illusion of light. And I'm just going to click it there. And now if you get out of this, you should be able to see it is literally, this is what I mean. It's just a flat quad. And that's like your basics for any floor, which is pretty cool. And you can also do it without the 2D, without doing this thing. You can kind of do it like that, but it's just easier to see when you're in the 2D thing. And another thing, if you're doing the on tile map layer 1, it applies for layer 1 walls as well. So let's just grab this brick texture, this brick wall, and let's just kind of paint a little room in here. Something like that. And you can see that that applies 3D to it. It is terribly wonky to look at because the whole world is technically put on its side just to make it so you can paint it, which it's really cool and really helpful, but sometimes it's kind of a pain to work with. But that's what I mean by I kind of split the top half as 2D stuff like the flat floor, and the bottom half would be more of like walls like that. And then obviously just whoa. Should be able to just erase this. Now it's all in a funky thing. That's not what I want. And yeah, sorry if I gotta kind of do some weird stuff with the screen. The screen recorder that I'm using, there's like a window right here where my mouse is, so it's kind of unfortunately covering some buttons, and you can't move the window, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, so let's think. What do we want to work on? And for some reason deleted a piece of the floor. And I gotta figure out how to make it only select one again. Alright, I think that worked. So this is the light color. Let's fix that. And I think I also had to adjust this because it wasn't quote-unquote lighted properly. These should technically be light blocks instead of dark blocks. So let's do paint, make sure the light's selected. Bang, 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 bang. I mean, it's literally, you're painting a 3D scene. It's pretty cool. Really quick, we could also try, I mean, a lot of this will probably just be I don't know about a whole lot of debugging. It might just be a lot of like us painting the scene as we go, but maybe we should try fixing this whole layering issue. And also really quick over here, this is kind of my hierarchy. This is basically how I lay out every project I do. Like I got my player, and this is probably by far the most complicated player I've ever had to put together, just organize. That's a lot of stuff going on. UI canvas, floor collider, which is technically, I believe the purpose of this one is it's not to let the player fall through the floor because it doesn't really have those physics in this game because it's technically a 2D game, as crazy as it sounds. Um, yeah, I believe this is for like if you were shooting at the floor, it would actually give the gun script a collider to work off from to like spray like a collision hit effect, like a bullet impact. And then chunk 01 is essentially this entire piece right here. The reason I named it chunk 01 because in the beginning, when I was creating this game, I was having issues creating new scenes for some reason. Like, by that, I mean making all the systems still work. Like, literally, if I like duplicated a scene and then I tried adjusting one thing, like the entire game would break for some reason. So, what my original plan was, I would make it all in one scene and only have one chunk loaded in at a time. So like there would be one chunk, two chunk. When you're not looking at it or at that part of the level, it would just be deactivated to make it less laggy, which was not ideal, but it's what I had to do. Um, but I eventually fixed that whole issue. I just haven't changed it yet. I might still use that for something. But yeah, you open it up, you have ceiling collider, which is the same thing as the floor collider. I just turned it off for now that way. Like if there's an open window, you could like shoot out of it, like if you had the rocket launcher and you're not worried about killing yourself from an invisible collider. We have audio controller, well, environment here, which is as you would think. This is how I do with all my games. It's just the actual environment. The grid is essentially all the different tile map layers. And like when you start the game, you will see that these fill up all of a sudden, like they're actually full with stuff, because it's registering all the objects that are in that layer. Like this is layer 1. So if I was to turn off layer 1, it would turn off like all the bottom walls and the floor, like that. So that kind of helps me explain what layers are. Layer 2 should be like most ceilings and upper walls. Yep, most ceilings. Some stuff is kind of weird. And then ceiling 1, 2, and 3, which I think I accidentally have a pointless layer that I gotta figure out. But sometimes the Unity tile map system's kind of weird and doesn't want to work all the time. Like if I'm adding a ceiling, I can see it in the editor and it's like, oh yeah, that looks great. And then as soon as I play the game, it's like, it's invisible. And then I get out and it's like, no, it's there. So it's like, it's just some weird stuff. But anyway, that's kind of what the grid folder is. It just holds all that stuff. Props. This is, so I duplicated the demo scene from the original game and just kind of brought this all in just so I have a prefab of it in the game and ready to go. It's deactivated because a lot of these referred to the sci-fi level, like the button and the barrels. The only one that isn't would probably be the grave, which I could probably tick on or whatever. Let's do this. I'll turn on props and turn off everything besides the grave. And let's just, for the heck of it, we'll drag the grave kind of right there just so we can see it, because this one applies to the Egyptian style level. And eventually we'll have to turn this portal on, because like I said, kind of the point of the game is I'm going to have it be like you're time traveling, so at the end of every level there should be a new portal for you to go to the next level. Which, I mean, literally, circling back, it's pretty much time splitters. Because I was thinking the original level would kind of be more of a modern, almost sci-fi style, so it's like, you obviously have the ability to use the portal. So that's what props are, it's just kind of scene decorations. Environment effects. Where is this guy? Okay, we can turn this off because this is technically for the portal. So let's just turn that off for now because it's not even in the scene. Don't want to make it laggy. And the lava particles are these guys, which you saw in the lava room. That, like, I'll probably adjust just to make it fit a little more with the art style. And that's that for that. Audio controller. You got your background music. This is kind of more of like a debugging thing. If it's like a game object absolutely needed an audio source and I just didn't want it to play a sound for some reason, I would just feed it that. When you're an indie game dev, sometimes you gotta cut corners. It's not always worth it. I mean, if it's killing the game, then it's, yeah, you want to do it. But I mean, to be honest, this is not just indie games. A lot of games look pretty interesting on the inside. Pickup sound effects. We have a few of those for, like, depending on what item you pick up. You have a pickup weapon. You have health pickup, special object. I believe that counts as like keys. In some levels, there will be like a key you need to unlock a door. Maybe like I might do it like kind of like how the original Castle Wolfenstein 3D had like just treasure you could pick up. I don't know if you wanted to have points for some reason. You do that. Player sound effects, this should be like if you're hurt, actual firing sound effects, which technically that could probably be in its own category, but it's fine. Enemy, so that's probably shoot, enemy hurt, the different types of enemy shoot. I have like a 9mm shot, an environment, SFX, you have the door closed, bullet impact, explosion, and button pressed. So it's a lot, like, in the scene. That's kind of what I meant, like, how it's very in-depth. Pickups is what you would think. You got all your weapon pickups, like the pistol, shotgun, got ammo pickups. Blue key is deactivated because that's for the sci-fi level. And you got grenade ammo, so just more grenades. Enemies are turned off currently, just to make editing simpler, but they got all their own issues. I might turn them on quick. And character sprites is just something I'm currently developing on. I'm just going to turn them on quick, but you'll see very soon that there is a lot wrong with them. One thing I'm going to say right off the bat, which is super annoying, and it's probably not going to be any better because this is pretty loud in the microphone for some reason, is that they will, even if they don't quote-unquote see you, it's like a collision detection. Like, there's basically like essentially like a big circle around them, a big collider that's like if the player is in that range, they have technically quote-unquote seen you, even if you're through a wall. So you will just hear like them spamming shots, and it's pretty dang it. So you shouldn't hear them just yet. You'll have to get like close enough to them. Yeah, that's as quiet as it gets, unfortunately. So we're gonna want to pick up the big gun, and that's that grave object. If there's one guy, they don't do that much, but together. And something weird you're gonna notice is those art designs do not add up. Like, this is like a hand-drawn sprite right here, which was originally a different enemy, which technically goes better with the art style. And those other enemies you just saw were actually photos taken and then like edited in a sprite, a texture editing software, again, to be specific, to look more retro and cartoonish, which obviously did not work out as well. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but I don't think it fits the game art. So I'll probably switch it back to whatever this guy looked like. There's just a weird, like, bug-looking guy. This is technically him falling over. Looks super sharp. Yeah, so that's the enemies, and here's just the grave object. You can obviously see there's some issues with the layering, like right now the enemies that are behind him, their blood is showing up on front of us. Which, I mean, sometimes, I mean, it's depending on what it is, it's okay, but you just want it to look clean. Anyway, so let's now that I've kind of shown you the breakdown of the scene, how I kind of build stuff, let me take that off just so they're not bugging me. Another thing you'll probably notice is I'll do like one or two things and immediately save because I've had a really bad history of Unity crashing and just not working out well. So let's go over and maybe try to fix this, at least the floor layering issue where it's like you can see the lava particles. What would that be? I think I did this before. And I think you literally environment grid. This is tile map layer 1. So we'll go to tile map layer 1 and it should be like a layer thing. Order and layer. I think this was at -1 for a reason. So maybe instead of the floor, we adjust the particle systems. Let's try that first. Let's see if I can find it. I think it's under renderer. Yes, so if that's -1, it's -1 for a reason, I think. I think it's to do with the walls, so maybe this should be -2. Right? I think. Yeah, because now you don't see it anymore. At least you shouldn't. I think for now, I'm going to... I might just turn off the scene audio for a second. Just because it's pretty loud. I don't want to scare all you guys off, So all right, yes, I think that fixed it. Before you could see the flame particles from here. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. And obviously, yeah, it's just like that. Grenades are pretty exciting to use. Oh, so yep, we got that. Very nice. I might do, what do I want to work on? Do I want to do the particle or do I want to do where you actually get damaged? Let me see what it takes to do the particle quick. Let's do that. Do 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 do. So it should essentially just be changing the material. And I'm gonna keep one on for now. I'm only gonna change one at a time just so I don't forget what material this was because it took me a while to find it. There were, I believe, just some square type ones. Yeah, almost like that. Maybe it should just be that. But like, I'll obviously change it up a little bit. That should be, I believe, the size over lifetime? Well, not really, no. We gotta just go to the beginning. Oh, and my battery's about to die. I will be back in a second. Alright, I am back. Now that I got my laptop plugged in. Hmm. Nope. Not what I meant to do. Start at 0.5. 0.25. Honestly, maybe something like that. I might do slightly smaller. But we'll do that, and then literally, if I just like the way this one looks, I'll just copy the component that I just adjusted and paste it onto the rest of them. Do do do. I really wish it wasn't so loud for some reason. Do 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 do. Give it a second. Sometimes Unity likes to be slow. Do 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 do. All right, so we are now in the scene. Bum, bum. So I feel like that should look pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad. It kind of at least goes more with the style. We got some weird stuff there. So once again, so the layer looks fine with the floor, but you'll notice if I kind of look from this angle, it's like, looks like, actually maybe that's just me. There might still be something kind of weird going on with the layering. But anyway, I think I'm going to, I like how it looks, so we're going to paste that component onto the rest of these guys. So we just go to particle system, copy component. I will turn the rest of these guys back on. Oops. Turn them back on. And we are also going to now right click again and do paste component values. So now those should all look the exact same. So yeah, those should all look the exact same. I might move the player in a second just so I don't have to keep running over there. Another thing is, I thought I had 2 speeds before for the player. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. That's kind of cool looking. Yeah, so we'll have to do some sort of damage when you run over it. But anyway, I thought I had like, so this is just walking. I thought I had like a run. I was pretty sure. And that looks a little bit better. I think we technically gotta do it there too. But yeah. Do. Hit that. Sneak back over here. Let's do that. So let's go over here. Paint. Well, it's gonna have to be for tile map layer 1. Wish I could move that window, the recording window. It's right in the way of my erase button. Get the lighter guy, stick him in there. So now this whole area should look like it's properly lit. Everywhere else is covered. That's why they're darker. So, what else do we want to do? I have GIMP open at the moment. It doesn't have one of these sprites in it yet, or these textures in it yet, but I just went ahead and started the template. Now we're back in Unity, and now in our sprite, down here we should have a new texture / sprite to work with, right here. So this is going to be it. And for this, I always like to do this. You just go single pixels per unit. It has to be 30 just because of the setup I have. This should be point to really have the pixels pop. And this, not that, this 32-bit. Hit apply. I like to save it. And then I'm just going to go to our retro tiles, and sometimes it's easier to just duplicate one that's already made. So I'm going to find a normal floor one. So let's say this floor guy. Can duplicate it, and we're just going to name it stone floor. I think it's like underline tile 01. I like to try keeping everything like named similar, if that makes sense. Nope, it doesn't say tile. It says sprite 01. Just to keep things clean and organized. So now we will go into here. You can select it from here, and we will find our stone. We're going to swap it out for the correct texture. So there's that guy. And then it should just be, I believe, matter of fact of going like this. It's a flat sprite, so we'll put it in this section. I'll put it kind of over here with the rest of the Egyptian stuff. It's the lighter one, so we'll stick it there. And now we technically should just be ready to paint it from here. So, tile map layer 1. Gotta go like this again. So that super fun window. And it's going to look like nothing gets erased just because the current layer that it's showing is the top layer. So sometimes you can either just turn off the layer, or sometimes you can literally, like, kind of what I was saying before, just kind of go in here and make it happen. So we'll just delete these guys, and then I should just literally be able to paint that guy on there. Which I definitely think is going to need a little bit of work. I don't know if it's detailed enough. Maybe the colors need to be slightly different. I mean, it doesn't look horrible, but at the same time, I don't know if it's exactly matching up at the moment. And I might also have to be careful putting it right next to another textured wall like this that already kind of has a lot of detail into it. So let's go see what that looks like. I mean, that's better than the sand. I definitely want to be stone. So maybe this might need an outline just to kind of give it a defined edge, because right now it looks a little funny. And I don't know if it technically needs to look seamless. Like these other textures aren't seamless. I don't know if it's too much breakup right there. I don't know. Do we really? I don't think we want a border. I don't think it's gonna look right. Maybe we should just add a little more detail into these. I'll just hit, oh, you could just hit. That looks kind of cool. I don't know. I feel like I'm really gonna hate it if we add a border. I don't know. I'm not liking it. Because it's kind of like what I said. It's like some textures look really good with a border, and then others don't. I feel like if it's supposed to be more of like a natural texture, like stone or like grass or something like that, then it really shouldn't have a border. But if it's like the sci-fi style where it should, I mean, I don't know. That might look cool. I mean, this isn't supposed to be a super realistic game anyway, so it's probably fine if you can see the tiling. We'll just maximize it for the heck of it. I don't know, maybe we do want that. That's kind of cool. Makes it look a little chunkier. This might honestly be the correct lighting for the lava. Very nice. I was thinking about maybe having like instead of those, like I was saying before, obviously can't have the sci-fi doors. So I'm either gonna have to make like a gate type of door, like iron bars or metal bars, or maybe some sort of stone. Because I'd like there to be like a door to kind of break some stuff up. Because it also makes it look cleaner instead of just having it like sudden texture changes, you know what I mean? That's technically how they designed Doom. Whenever there was like a big change in textures, there would be like a door or like a special transition texture they'd put in the middle just to make it look slightly better. But yeah, that might be it for today, guys. I know we didn't do like a crazy amount, but life's busy, got to get to other stuff. And I mean, I'd really like to do another long form video like this sometime, and maybe we'll actually accomplish a little more. But I mean, this is what game dev looks like when you're just doing it in real time. That's the beauty of actually seeing it behind the scenes. If it's a short video, like a YouTube short, it's like, yeah, you just see the highlights. But I mean, who knows? By the time we come back, this might look totally different. Um, it's all about developing it and making sure it's something you like and something that the players will like. So thank you guys for watching. And speaking of that, please let me know what you think about this video and this game in the comment section down below. I'd love to get some input from you guys if you have like really any ideas. Um, Even like the type of levels that you would like. Like I currently have like I'd like to do a sci-fi, Egyptian, like tomb style, maybe like a castle, kind of like Castle Wolfenstein, just something like that with a lost stone. Um, it may be a jungle level of some sort, but like if you guys have any ideas, just reach out, let me know. Could be a nice level, who knows. Um, but yeah, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, later.